if you have ever had a moment where you were really feeling down, if you were feeling lost, confused, broken, and out of nowhere someone said something to you that just snapped you out of it, this is how God works. I remember one time I was a teenager and I was riding the bus from school. And in the bus, you could sit two ways. You could sit on the side of the bus where you are facing forward, or you could sit on the other side of the bus, but as the bus is driving forward, you would look on the other way. So you're seeing things as they're going backwards. And it was very interesting because that was a time in my life where, I was depressed and I was going through some things, teenage things, and for some reason, I never sit backwards, but I guess at that time I sat backwards. And this man on the bus, and I've seen him before, I never spoke to him before, just beyond hello, how you doing? That's it. But I sat there and this man was getting off the bus. He was getting off the bus before me. And he tapped me on the shoulder and I was like, oh, okay. So I took out my headphones, I looked up, and he said to me, and I kid you not, I never forgot this. He said to me, this sit is not for you. This is for people who are looking backwards. You need to sit on the other side so that you can look forward. And I just was like, I thanked him and everything, but I literally froze. Because in that moment, I was really feeling like I had nothing else to live for. And looking back, I'm like, wow, how could you feel like that, Christelle? How could you go there? It was over something that's so, it doesn't even mean anything today. But then again, at that time, I was probably like 16, and now I'm 34. So of course I've grown and learned and I have a different perception. But I have no doubt that this man, that God had sent this man to affirm me in that moment. And I promise you, I continued the ride where I was at, where I sat. I didn't move, but I stayed there for the next 2 stops. And I think I got off the second or third stop after that. But let me tell you, I never sat backwards again. And anytime I'm tempted to sit backwards, whether I'm on a train or a bus or something, it's more because I want to see things, like, if I'm recording something, but I always sit forward so that I can see forward. I never forgot the way that man affirmed me. And I had no doubt in that moment that it was God that sent him to say those words to me. Like, of course, when I see him on the bus, I would nod or say hello, but had never spoken to this man. He didn't know my name. He knew nothing about me. I knew nothing about him. But for the fact that, maybe a few days a week, a day or two per week, I would see him on the bus when I took the bus. So I knew it was God in that moment coming to affirm me. And that's why when I created the Hi God Is Me journal, I had to put a section to affirm God. Because so many times we're coming to God, we're asking God for things, we're coming to God with our problem. And there's nothing wrong with that. God wants us to come to him with our problems. But I wonder, how many times do we take the time to affirm God? To say, God, you're doing such a great and wonderful job with me. Do you know how many planets that God keeps moving together in perfect alignment? How God feeds the birds, the animals, how God comes through for you? Do you know how many times that if it were not for God, you probably would have not made it home? The fact that you're here alive, breathing, is a miracle. So we need to affirm God, because we need to tell God what a wonderful job that he is doing. What a wonderful God that he is or she is. Tell God, affirming God makes everything better, not just for us, but for God as well. We need to tell God, you are God. You are the God that gets things done. You are the God that keeps me safe. You are the God that loves on me. You are the God that gives me purpose. Affirm God, I affirm God. And I am telling you, your life will change. Now I have a journaling prompt for you. How are you affirming God today? I want to know. Say it to yourself, write it in the comments, and let me know how you are affirming God. I love you guys. I hope that you've already gotten your journal. so you can get into recognizing God, praising God, and affirming God. And if you haven't already, be sure to pick up a copy for you and for a friend. And I'll see you in the next video where we're gonna talk about asking God, because we want to be able to come to God and ask God for all of our heart's desires. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.